Schmetz? Doug Schmetz? Yeah. Which is in my book, An Abundance of Catherines, even in English. I'm going to speak very briefly about Catherines. An Abundance of Catherines is a book about a washed-up child prodigy. Most child prodigies, or Wunderkind, hit their peak when they're about 12 or 13 years old. And then they have a precipitous decline that eventually results in their untimely death. The kid in this book, Colin Singleton, is very good at anagramming. This is a very popular pastime among nerds in America. For instance, whenever I'm asked an example of an anagram, I think out the Britney Spears anagrams to Presbyterians. Okay, so the book is about Colin, who, the other interesting thing about Colin is that he has dated 19 girls, all of whom are named Catherine, and all of whom don't. Yeah, so this book is about his life in the wake of the breakup of Catherine with Catherine the 19th, and it is also about coming to terms with what you are when all you've ever been is a child prodigy and you are no longer a prodigy and no longer a child. I'm just going to read the first paragraph, and then I will turn it over. The morning after noted child prodigy Colin Singleton graduated from high school and got dumped for the 19th time by a girl named Catherine, he took a bath. Colin had always preferred baths. One of his general policies in life was never to do anything standing up that could just as easily be done lying down. He climbed into the tub as soon as the water got hot, and he sat and watched with a curiously blank look on his face as the water overtook him. The water inched up his legs, which were crossed and folded into the tub. He did realize, albeit faintly, that he was too long and too big for this bathtub. He looked like a mostly grown person playing at being a kid. I picked the name Catherine because it's very good for anagramming. I mean, I wish I had a fancy literary answer, but the answer is that Catherine in English contains both the word heart and the word tears. So I needed both those words. How many people here are nerd fighters? So you guys have to ask questions. The fans of my brother and I have a video blog on YouTube, and the fans of it are called Nerd Fighters because they fight for the rights of nerds and fight in celebration of intellectualism and reading and nerd culture. Well, I got dumped a lot. So I got dumped a lot more than 19 times, but never by a Catherine. I think the idea came out of my childhood experiences with romantic relationships and my desire to have a way that I could tell in advance whether or not a girl I started dating was going to dump me, which of course turns out to be a profoundly flawed idea, but is very attractive, I think. I picked his name because, again, it's good for anagramming, but also because Hassan and Hussein are the central martyrs in, I don't know how much you know about Islamic history, but the Battle of Karbala was a very important battle in early Islamic history. Hassan and Hussein, who were relatives of the Prophet, were martyred in that battle. And Hassan is in some ways, the character is in some ways modeled on that historical figure, his life, and also his sacrifice for his community and for his friends. Then I have a second answer to that question. The reason I wrote the character the way that I did is because when I was growing up, I knew a lot of Muslim kids, and Islam was one of their identities, but not their only identity. And they were also, you know, I think in the same way that I'm a Christian, they were a Muslim and a girl and smart, and they liked books and they liked horses and whatever. It wasn't the only thing about them. And so often in American fiction particularly, being a Muslim is this thing that you gotta, oh, it's like you gotta worry about it, and it's all bullshit. Like it's all way off from the actual experience of what Islam is and what it's like to live as a Muslim in the world. I think we both feel sort of, or less now, but when I was a younger person, I felt very separate from other people. But not because I was smart, because I wasn't.
You are older than Colin, the hero of the book. So I want to know, how do you write stories about boys and girls of this age?
I think all writing is a mix of imagination and memory, and I can imagine what it is like, maybe imperfectly, but I can imagine what it is like to be 17 or what it is like to be 80. You know, I haven't been 80 yet, but I do hope to be one day. So I think it's that mix of imagination and memory. Yeah.
Well, I actually have two questions. First, this is, I don't know if you know this because it's like specific to the translations, but like how does the anagramming, are there problems with the translations and the anagrams? And then secondly, are you gonna like, is there a plan that you're gonna keep video blogging for like a while? Because see, I live in this constant fear that one day you're just gonna stop and we're all gonna cry.
I promise to make videos as long as you want to watch them, and it may not be that long, but I promise. And I do think the anagramming was a challenge for my translator here, Sophie Zeitz, she did a brilliant job. Everything I've seen, she did wonderfully.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Mostly I wanted to get rich. And I thought the surest way to get rich was to write a novel about abstract mathematics. I think that we all feel separated from other people in a fundamental way. I wanted to try to write my way through that separation and also write other people through that separation, take other people through that separation.
Are you rich now?
No. I guess I have to write more books about math.